Okay, so I am just gonna test all this out. Yeah, touch that microphone, see how it goes. You can see me, my hand's over here, my microphone is right there. So we'll see if this works. It'll probably work better now, but I'm having it on full gain because I like that better. But what I'm doing is, like, you see here, you see my setup. It's like it's all got the. This is one screen, and then this is actually recording this other screen. So my whole point is just to test things out, see if I can do all this. I like using Windows for some reason. After they've gone to doing the WSL, let's see. So I'm slightly paying attention to other things. I like the WinGet in the newer Windows. I It's like that makes things a lot easier, and then the whole WSL. I'm all for it. It's like you got all the commands that you usually use in whatever Linux environment. You can have several Linux environments as long as you have the disk space, because they do take up disk space. People don't usually acknowledge that part. Let's see. In this one, if it'll tell me. Doesn't say how big it is. Let's see if I've got it saved in one of these. Yeah, one of these. Tar file. 20 gigabytes. So it's loading. It's updating things I have not used in a while. So it's got another one to do after this one. One other thing. Visual Studio. Not the code. Installer. Come on, give me the installer. Yeah. There. Good. I don't have it installed already. What? I don't have the installer. Interesting. I'd rather use WinGet to install it anyways. Okay, I don't see. Okay, insider no. Well, it's installer. So let's see if I can get this a little better. Search Microsoft. Oh no, I forgot what they're supposed to be. Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, do it like that. That part I don't like. It doesn't. How do you search for? So that's not great, not great, not great. I want the installer. That's all I want, the installer. Then I can install it. Insider Visual Studio Code, no. Locator, no. I might have to go with the web one, because that was just ridiculous. Browsers, no, I don't care. Leave me alone. Okay. History. Visual Studio Installer. Go download. Community Edition. I just want the installer. I just want the installer. Okay. Let's see. For right now, I just want to do desktop environment. I'm not going to get any of those. Because Python, I won't download Node.js because they both have different components that do better. Individual components. I definitely want this. And you go like, why? Why do you want all that? Why do you want all that? Because I do. Because I do. Frameworks. Maui. Yes, I like Maui. Maui's pretty nice. Net native. I might try Net native. SDK for Android. Web development. Cloud server. Code tools. Dependency injection, validation, Git for Windows. Then I want the CLI build tools. That's the really one that I really need. The build tools latest, yes. Credit build, sure. MS build, yes, definitely. Yes, that one. Python, no. Download that one. JDK, modeling SDK, entity framework. Okay, that's gonna take a while. I may have to speed through that. I'm kind of watching some other things. So I'm a little bit distracted, and it's like I just there's some things I just want to let just watch because I don't know. Is it still recording? Yeah, still recording because I've noticed that it just stops every once in a while. Okay. These always, especially when they start, they take forever because what is that downloading? .38 gigabytes. Well, that's just a start. So yeah, it's usually like 6 to 7 gigabytes worth of. Can get up to 20 gigabytes if you download some of the frameworks. So let's go back to this one. I don't have it. Yeah, it moves a little bit slower. Okay. I want to get. Make sure I get the right one. For Conda, I want the mini Conda. That one. I always grab it by the ID, so I make sure I get the right one I want. Okay, right click, there, copies it. Winget, install, ID. Nope, ID. That's the thing about wireless. Never quite sure. That's why I don't know how people do gaming on wireless. Either iPads, I mean not pads, but what is it? Keyboards. Wireless keyboards, wireless mouse. It's like it doesn't work very well. Because it skips. It skips a lot of steps. I mean, they do have better refresh rates for them. Like they're constantly checking or they're listening more often. I understand a little bit about how that would work, how wireless works, or how, like when it says its speed is at a higher speed, it's got to do error correction when it's doing that. When it's analyzing the feed that's coming across, it's got to do error correction. It's got to make sure that it's getting all the bits that it thinks it's getting. So it has to re-download, because I'm sure with wireless there's a lot of missing bits, because just like with with Bluetooth, you just listening to a Bluetooth headset, you notice a lot of drop sounds, especially if you're farther away. I'm just talking to talk, and I'm waiting for stuff to download. See, because on this mouse I've got like it has a. This is a nicer mouse. It's got a button on there that allows it to switch between what controller, the Logitech controller it's listening to. So it's like right now it's on my main computer, and now it's on this one that's doing in the screen. And the mouse itself is moving faster than that, but because it's on a remote screen, it's being laggy. And I'm going to look up another. Yeah, I know you're not listening to that, because you're not hearing that. You're hearing me. Okay, this is finished finally. Okay, now let's go through Conda. Update. I gotta close it down. Load it again. Oh, now these are done too. Okay, good. I can close this one down. Sign into Visual Studio. Skip the step now because I don't have my. It'll ask for two-step verification, and I don't want to have to step away to get my phone. You're like, why don't you have your phone right on you? Well, because I don't. Okay. Don't want that one. Let's open this one back up. There, let's do Conda. I forgot the help. There we go. Conda upgrade. At least for. Yeah, you gotta give it a target. Conda update Conda. It probably is already updated. Nope. It's like even when you first get it, it's still got all these things to update. That's, you know, I just downloaded it. Update Python. Does it tell me what Python it's into? 22, but it's the pip, the 22 no, it's not telling me which one. The following package will be downgraded. What? Okay, color Python to 10. Okay, interesting. Okay. want to make sure it has the latest Python. Well, it's not the latest. It's the latest stable. Because the main thing I'm doing right here, going for is sorry, I'm a little bit Corey Butler NVM from what? Yes, I want that one. Yeah, my mouse is a little bit wonky doing it the way I'm doing it. And get install, so I got to be a little bit more careful. Gonna install Node through the NVM. Maybe I'll show what I'm doing. Okay. I'll just Lunar because that's okay. So this is what I'm installing. I'm showing how I'm installing it. I'm installing on a computer that I've not installed it before. So you have to have all these prerequisites. I'm going to do the nightly version of NeoVim. But it says this, like this e-access, like that. When you go to that e-access, it gives you two things. You can either set that access thing to, so it, but it even suggests for Windows machines to go ahead and download this NVM, this Node version manager. Okay. I'm going to restart. I'm sure there's other quicker ways to, I mean, like you could do it in the, to reload the, yes, I want to. NVM. NVM install latest. Okay, NVM install. Node and npm. Yep. That's what I wanted to install. Installation complete. See, that took really quick. NVM use 19. Yeah. If you want to use this version, type yes. I want to 19.3.0. Now using Node. Okay. The last one. Okay, Python. Get it installed. We'll see if that actually works. Cargo. Rust up. Yep, you got to do this one, not this one, unless you're doing it through a Linux distribution. So, yeah. I'm going to save it because I may have to run it if it doesn't do quite what I'm expecting. Okay, let's minimize that. Go to the downloads folder. Rest up. Get this up so I can see it. You can install it anytime, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Doop. Stable installed. Enter for any. So I like it. That's how it tells you. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to this will reload. To get started, you may need to restart your current shell. This would reload its path variable to include blah blah. Okay. And what's the other one? Go back to the Lunar Vim installation. Okay, get make. Okay, do I? Yeah, because of the make installed when it did the CLI stuff. Pip, yes, that downloaded with npm, yes. And Node, yes. Those. So eaxis, PowerShell, yes, I definitely have PowerShell 7. I have 7.3, I believe that's the one it was. Tells you, yeah, 7.31, that's the latest. Okay. I don't have NeoVim installed. There's will be the fun part, because when you sit there you gotta let it install a long time. Okay, I mean compile it. So I'll need to go to NeoVim. I could install directly with Winget going, but I want to test some things. See, go to NeoVim. So I can close that one, open NeoVim. And you're going, hey, why aren't you using a Chrome browser? Well, Edge is now based on Chrome. Source in just a few seconds. Imkit, no prerequisites, building NeoVim for details. Git clone. So we're going to test out if I have Git. Okay, get that back up. And I'm going to have to get these side by side so I make sure I Git. So I want it here. Let's see. Which directories? I can never remember the command. I've been so used to doing things with the visual that I just default to the visual. Okay, that one's my fast data. That one's I don't remember which. Okay, that one's in that one's a solid state. That one's a hard drive. That's a solid state, definitely. So those two are real hard drives. So I've got 3 hard drives and 2 solid states. Okay. I think that's like a 200. Yeah. I don't remember which one I have Windows and stuff. So with the fast data, that is that. I don't remember. Okay, that's G. Okay. So I'm going to go to G. And then what do I have? Do I have Devel? Yeah, let's see, Devel. Nope. Okay, see what I have in there. Okay, then git clone. Close that down because I don't need that. Git clone HTTPS GitHub NeoVim. That's a lot of objects. That's one of the biggest Git repositories I've cloned into, other than the the terminal. The Windows terminal was a pretty big Git repository. Let's see. I'm not going to follow those exactly rules. NeoVim. See, I've done this before. I want to create deps, with a period, deps, and cd into the deps, and then I need the build shell. Okay, command prompt for this one. I'm going to do the settings so I get the file over. Yeah. I'll start it for regular. Yeah. Startup for the developer shell. Dink. Copy this all over. Copy. Create a text file. Paste. Change that to the PowerShell 7 and then save it. Save as in my bin directory. Yep, oh, it's already in. It was already there. Change this to all files. Oh, see, I'm gonna have a Java file in there. And then build shell. Oh, change that. Build bat. Rename. I don't like how they don't have that in the default. There's some things that are not quite so. There. Now it's going to ask me, do you really want to change this? No, it did not. Okay. View. Show. File name extensions. Yes. Okay. Close this down. That's an awfully big window. Okay. That I didn't change anything, but I'll go ahead and change this in here. So it's yeah, I'll just delete the whole thing and retype it in there. Save. Close out of that. Okay. SH. And that pulls over all of the. Then I got to CMake the previous directory, CMake deps. So what that's doing is it's creating all the CMake dependencies in this deps folder. That will go through and create all the. Then if I show you what's in there, it's like, wow. So it makes by default, it makes all these, the VC X Pro X project. The one I want is the all build, because I'm going to build them all. So ms build. And then current directory, all. Just go ahead and let that run. That's going to take a while. Sometimes I like watching it. You'll create some of these errors that are just ridiculous. And it's like, well, why is it creating all these errors? Why can't they make the file? Because some of these errors are just silly. They're silly because it wasn't written for this particular platform. It was written for a multiple of platforms, and some of these warnings, they're warnings, not errors, don't work on certain computers. Or it's missing something. If it's missing something, then it will be. Like it says fatal. I see fatal. That's sometimes it's going so fast that you can't. But if you slow it down, you scroll back up, you go, oh, what is it doing? Well, let's see. Okay, that one's, well, yellow is not error. Let's see, there is a, I thought the coloring of yellow was error. Warning, yeah, so warning unnamed type definition in parentheses. In parentheses. Sometimes it'll tell you something like an int this was trying to be convert it into this. See previous definition, xalloc oversized. It's like if you get used to just not caring. Incompatible types from unsigned short to const int. Why is that a problem for it? It should be able to convert those fairly easily. I mean, any other programming language does it without problem. It's like, because this, you know, whatever, however it was built, was not built to allow those kinds of things. We'll see if it gets me through it all, or if it's going to create. That's why I wanted to go through this whole process instead of just, if it doesn't work, if it's not going to work, or if it creates so many errors that it's like, yeah, we fail, then I will just do the winget, the already pre-done, but it'll only allow me to do 8, the whatever hash they had for the nightly. So like this one, it says you've got the, so the prerequisites for 0.8, and then you got the nightly 0.9. If you try to download that one directly, it won't let you because the hash for it, whatever it's saved in the, wherever winget gets it from, is not allowing. I can, you know, like go to this NeoVim, find its the tag. So it's only allowing, okay, so it doesn't even show the nightly in that one. I guess the nightly is branches, file syntax, release. All these are the releases files, but it doesn't show a release for 0.9. Which, I mean, I guess like the master would equate to 0.9 if it's looking, seeing if this tells me anything. Modern GUIs, managed packages, yeah, because they say they've already got one for all of these. But again, it's like, I guess you have to build it. This rel with deb info, that's like, it's like a release with debug. So why is it not debug? If it's saying that it's a release with debug info, it's like, isn't that debug? Isn't that what debug does? You can run it without, I don't, without going through and understanding what that means for this particular program. It's like, okay, detecting C compilers, yeah. So it's creating all these dependencies for NeoVim. I've tried running it without creating, because you have, if you know what dependencies you already have on your computer, then you don't have to build them. But while that's going, I'm going to open up another PowerShell. Because there's a couple more. So instead of downloading this script here for Windows, and since I'm doing the nightly, I'm not going to use, I'm going to do this one here. The only thing different about these two is that one has it says the branch you're creating it for. This one just does the whole. I don't care about that invoke request. I want, no, that's not what we go with. I just want to copy the website. Copy. It's probably going to copy the whole thing. Paste. No. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. I'll show you why I'm doing it this way. Instead of going through its script to do its thing, I can download the script too. I am going to download the script, but it's like it's trying to ask for these dependencies, right? So it says it's wanting to check the system if it has nvim make git, okay? And then this is what, say, npm install global neovim tree sitter CLI. So instead of using the nodes version of CLI or tree sitter CLI, I'm going to do it through cargo install tree sitter CLI. That updates its crates info. I'm guessing it downloads that into its file so you can more easily search through it. And then it because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this script, script over here, but it's not going to do, I'm going to cut out the parts where it's actually checking for the dependencies, and where the only thing it's going to do is setting up the Lunar Vim location and the Lunar Vim directories. It's not going to, I'm not going to let it do the downloading of node because I just did that. Okay, a couple more I'm going to put in here. FD fine. Because in the Linux version, if I go to this installer and get the Linux version, it's checking for all this stuff in cargo. It's checking for these files in cargo. It doesn't do that with the Windows version. It doesn't even have a check for, like if I show you the raw, it doesn't even check for Rust and being installed. That's not one of they didn't put that in there. So it's like, why? Cargo's so much faster. So much faster than any of these other. It's like I if I can spell it right. Rip. I could change this file and it can have it do it, but it's like I don't know enough about, I mean, I know enough about like programming to understand what it's looking for, what it's doing. But it's like when I start trying to write PowerShell scripts, I get enough wrong because I don't know the actual commands or the actual, like, okay, that's definitely setting a variable to stop it. What that means something. Exit when command fails. So it's like that's a programming. That if you don't know that that's what setting that variable does, like why would you know to do that? Or if you set it wrong, or you don't even set it. So like I understand an invoke command, but I can never remember all these commands because they spell them out. It's like that part I don't like about PowerShell. They say, oh, it's really easy, and they can make so many aliases for all these things, so it makes it simple. Write output, that makes sense, but it's like, where is it writing it to? Because they have different write commands, like writing to this, or writing to that, writing to the shell, writing to error, writing to a log. Do I have, that just made me think, nerd fonts. Do I have a nerd font? installed on this computer. I do on my main computer. I don't know if I have one installed on this particular computer that I'm doing all this installation on. So I may have to check that too. Okay, yep, oh, yep. 2,132 errors or warnings, not errors. When it's an error, it'll quit. It'll just fall out of the file. Okay, CD, back into that one, make directory, build. Okay, CD into the build, and then cmake. This is just creating the configuration for, if you don't understand what cmake does. It's not actually making, it's like creating the configuration. So it's like configure make. I don't know if that's what it's called or that's why it's called cmake. But that's what it's doing. It's doing all the things that would be in a configure file. If you had enough Linux experience or even Unix experience, they'll have that configure file in these things, and they'll check for all these things, and they'll create the make files for them. So the make files, what actually calls on the compiler, and then sets up the where they are being like the order things. So if this program has a dependency on that, then it will make sure that it's there. Like all these that say not found, so it says lang info not found, pwdh not found. It's like that's because it's on a Windows machine. Windows doesn't have those. These are on a different machine, so of course these aren't found on a Windows machine, so they're not. It's like it needs to not even try looking for them and do whatever is needed for a Windows machine. But we'll see. We'll see if it, because I think one of these, when I did it on another computer, it failed. It completely didn't. Like I was pointing out, it had an error, and the error that was like making the whole compilation fail. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. Control A, Control C. Pull up VS Code. Create a file, not whatever that is. Open folder. Not a NeoVim. Just wherever. Documents. I call it test stuff. There. Trust, yes, this folder. Create a file. Install. Customize. PS1. Oops. PS1. Come on. Rename. Nope. Stupid thing. There we go. Do I want to install things for PowerShell? Yeah, maybe. Okay. No, not resize. Pull it up so I can. No. Stop. Okay, install, customize PS1, save. So this part where it's doing all the check system depth. Nope, don't need to do that. I have made sure it's doing its stuff. Okay. get this one started. Okay, MS build. Yep, it's gonna do again all new. Yep. And that'll take even longer than the building dependencies. So, again, while that's going, check some other stuff to make sure it's doing what it needs to do. Okay, yeah. Winget sh G sudo. And winget install id gerar dog G sudo. Yeah, okay. Install. No, let's install. Okay, now I can close this. The reason I need that is because to install the NeoVim into the right location, it needs administrator access. And getting that to work with an MS, so the next thing I'll need to do is MS build and do the install task. But to do that, you need, administrator privileges, and so G sudo is an easy way to get that. I'll need to reload this directory. Not all modules compiled with whatever that said. Still recording 53 an hour. Wow, recording for an hour. Stuff like this takes a while. So go back to YouTube, let YouTube play. Sometimes I like letting creators that I like just play in the background, even if I'm not like fully focused on what they're saying. Sometimes you don't need it to. Is it? Would that make a creator feel bad that you're just running in the background? You're not actually listening to what's going on or not focusing fully. It's like, how often do these people, and I don't mean anybody in particular, but I mean like in general, it's like you've seen people that they've got like 50,000 things going on, and are they actually focusing on what's being said? Maybe they listen for certain keywords to be said and they pay attention, but I'm gonna guess that they just let things run. How do you know that your favorite? It's like when you're watching Twitch streams. There can be a lot of like you're giving them a view, and if you like find something in the background that you like, you might just see how many of these Twitch streamers are active now. Recommended channels, there's a few. I'm sure there's other places in the world that are, let's wait, what time is it? 4:50 my time, current Mountain Standard Time, or Mountain, is it? Yeah, Mountain Standard Time. I don't get on Twitch very often. Okay. Wow. One morning, so it only had, okay, because I've had this particular conflicts with use of other libs. Use no default lib. So if this doesn't, okay, I'll have to close this down, reload it. I could learn the command to reset us. There we go. Close all, yes. Load it back up, yes. Put it back where I want it, over there on the side, yes. Okay. And then go back, it's on G, CD, devel, CD, neovim, build, ls. There's the uninstall, where's the install? Install, okay. So G sudo ms build install. Now bring up this, say yes. It's not recognized. Oh, I didn't do the build shell. Now I'll do that same command again. Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to close this again. Yeah. And load it again. See if it see if invim loads automatically. Yeah, not. So we'll create another text file. Okay, first of all, let's go to the program file. CD program files. Let's see if it'll do environment program files. Yes. Okay. CD ls. So like I don't know what's gonna work for me. Okay. Do I see a new Vim folder? Nope, I do not. So cd program file. There we go. It's probably in this one. NVim, yep, there it is. cd NVim. ls cd bim ls nvim exe. Boop. There we go. So it works. That's nice. That's nice. That's real nice. Close out of that. Let's see. Got a text file. Well, there's probably several different ways to do this that are probably way better, and I'm not you're like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just creating another batch file. Batch files are super easy. nvim.bat. And that %* just means it'll pass on whatever command line arguments to the NVim parser. Okay, so now I'm going to cd. Where did I put it? Into documents. Yeah, we'll see where it did it. Okay, test stuff. cd test stuff. Yeah, there we go. And then install, customize. Nope. Nope. You should run pick up. This enables you to start LVim. Would you like to create an alias inside your PowerShell profile? Sure. Do not forget to, do need to install some nerd fonts. Okay, so I'll install my favorite nerd fonts here. This one. And I go, Cascade is the one that's most similar to the ones that already come with Windows. Yep, save in the downloads folder. Open the folder, location, unzip it. No, not the properties. Show more options. Do I have the 7-zip? I do not have it on this one. Okay. Do not yeah, well, I'll show. Yeah, go ahead and show it when it's. Okay, I'm going to select all these. Install. Go down to these ones below. Install. Make sure I grab them all. And okay. Close. Close. PowerShell settings. Go to default. Appearance. Font face. Cascadia Nerd Font Mono. I don't know the difference between these two. This one spells it out, that one says NF. I don't know if they have any particular difference. Unable to find. Let's see if it does the NF instead. I wonder. Cargo search power. No, blah 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 blah. Starship. Yes. Blazing fast. Infinitely customized prompt for any shell. Yes. Cargo install. Starship. Build script. Okay. So again with the build shell tune, and it's just so it can compile it. I could have downloaded the MSys, which is what a lot of these other tools like Git will download its own version of MSys. That's basically like a Linux-ish version of. I don't know why that's. That's weird. It's actually doing that in the camera. Let me go off screen. Yeah, I don't know. That's might have to reset the camera because that's not very good there. Okay. Let's get that plugged back in, see if that helps it. Okay, turn off. Oh, yep, there it goes. Off. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a white screen. Don't know why it was glitching like that. It's probably too warm. Let's see. Is it too warm? No, it's. Okay, turn you off. It is not turning off. Yeah, okay, there. Take the battery out. Put it back in. It's not going to see a battery in it. It could be the battery that's getting so warm. Okay. Paused, active. Let's see if. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm back on. And this is still building. Interesting. Is it still going? Let's see. 362 of 363. Okay, so that's gonna just take a little bit, I guess. Get features, shell words, terminal size. So yeah, having that build shell like as a script that just pulls it directly into whatever PowerShell I'm using, instead of loading the particular PowerShell, because it sometimes does not work. Okay, the next time I load this up, it will have the Starship. It didn't do it. Okay. I'll have to look up Starship. Help. Let's see if that. Cross shell prompt for astronauts. Print the help. Yeah. Version. Completions, config, explain, init the shell function used to execute Starship. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, let's see if LVIM works directly. Yes, initiating, cloning into, yeah. Okay, now it creates that blank screen because it doesn't have anything in it yet. I want to make sure the build shell is pulled over. Nope. There we go. Pull it over again, then LVIM, and then do LVIM update, then packer sync. There it goes. Pulling stuff over. And it takes a while on that telescope. The telescope one always takes it a little bit longer. And this will sit and run, and I don't know how long to actually let it run, or whether if I close out of this, will it still run? That's I don't know. It seems to work though when I just close out of it and then I quit and then I load it again. And then it's almost right. It's almost right. Because that's not the default LVIM. LVIM update. Trying to update already up to date. Okay. Sync your pack. No, pack. The packer sync. And that's going to say already installed on most of them. It should. Already up to date, and everything up to date. Quit. Okay, quit out of that. Quit out of the command. Open up again, and it should give me, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So this is how I know that it's loaded everything. So this is the process I go through to make sure that Lunar Vim is completely installed. So yeah, that took like how long? An hour, 15 minutes. But yeah, that's how it works.